What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, can you still win him over? Can you still get him back? Do you still have a fucking chance? Do you just have a chance at all, okay? No point in wasting your time if you don't have a damn chance. So before we even get into this, if you can, please subscribe. Just click the button below. Also, if you want to help me out with a Patreon, get my free ebook, 254 pages, talks about every single thing we talk about in my videos. Again, nice, informative book. Or if you want to get an email or phone session with yours truly, again, it's all in the description below. So before we even get into this, I want to kind of throw out some backstory on why I'm making this video and why I think it's very important for a lot of you to understand where I'm coming from, because it's important, right? I only have so much powers. I had about 5 or 6 clients yesterday being Saturday. I'll probably put this video out today. Sorry, not Saturday, Friday. Wow, I'll probably put this video out today. It's Saturday. And what I realized with a lot of my clients, and not just yesterday, but just for the last forever, that a lot of people come to me after damage is done, and they think I'm a miracle worker. Now, I can bandage some things up, and I can bring you back from, you could be down 30, I can bring you back and, and get them right back, falling for you, stuff like that. But to an extent, right? I'm not a miracle worker, and I don't know your situation 100%. I never will, because I'm not in your head and I'm not in his head. But I am probably the best option you have, okay? I'm not just saying to blow my own, toot my own horn. It's true. And I just mean dating coaches in general. But a lot of people will come to me, and a lot of people will come to dating coaches or start watching videos or start reading books or start asking for advice after something happens, after he pulls away, after you break up, after he cheats, well, if he cheats, then he just, that's the wrong guy. But, that's just a D-bag. But after he does this, after he does something that you don't like, then you're freaking out and you're like, oh my God, what do? I got to get a phone session. I got to get an email session. I got to start reading this book. I got to start watching these videos. The damage is already done. And it's like renovating a house. You can only break down a house so much, to the point where I might as well not even renovate it. I'll just tell you, get a new house, okay? Like this shit's so fucked up, don't even worry about it, okay? Get a new house. And a lot of people think that, I can come, or they can, bring me in here and make magic happen. And while I can do a little bit of pow pow over there, that's not how it works. My job is to keep things leveled and to increase, to give you what you want, where you want. But from the beginning, my job is preventive. My job is to prevent you from doing things. My job is to keep you escalating, right? My job's not to, when you fall down, to dig you out of a hole and put you back over here and you're escalating again. That's not how it works. That's not how anything works, right? You can't just buy a magic pill, me being a magic pill, let's just say, and everything happens all of a sudden. You're like, woohoo, woohoo, yay, great, everything's good again. That's just not how it works. You need to get help ASAP, and you need to learn what to do, what not to do, how it works. It's not even what to do and what not to do. It's just understanding. It's like when you're studying for an exam. They always say, don't study it, understand it. Understand why it's this, not that. Understand how it works. And when you get a dating coach, if you get an email session or a phone session with me, I really do think that you should spend the last 20 minutes just banging out questions with me, okay? Just banging out questions, asking me how it works, how everything should be. Because if you do, then you're going to prevent 99% of all this stuff that you're asking about, that you're watching, that you're getting these sessions about. You're going to prevent all that because you know all this right here, okay? So I'm not just saying this to get your money either. You don't have to go to me. You can go to anyone. But it's important to go to a coach to understand how to do things instead of trying to fix it, right? Because it's just really hard, and I'm going to get into why. It's just really hard to just, go be deep down. I'm telling you, deep as possible, rock bottom, and then come back up as if nothing happened, right? No, that's not how it works. It's not like Men in Black where you just flash that thing in his face and he forgets. It's always there. But the thing is, you don't want to be there to begin with, so you have to focus on this over here. So if any of you are having problems with men now, I'm talking about real problems where you can't bounce back, right? All the people I was talking to the other day, a lot of them could bounce, like mostly, they can bounce back. But there's people out there who can't. And it's just better to take, the loss and to understand, and watch my videos and my things and so on and so forth to better yourself for the next encounter. So with all that being said, where's that line drawn where you can't come back anymore? A lot of dating coaches would say, and when I say a lot, not all of them, but a lot of PUA people say it, pickup artists for men. I know Coach Corey Wayne says it. I know Dr. Love says it, that if you fall under a certain percentage, and usually that percentage is between 49 and 51. 49 is low. If you fall under 50%, right, which is what they call the interest level, from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, whatever you want to do, right? If you fall below a 5 or 50%, you're done. You cannot get them back. There's no point in doing it. There's no point in doing it. The only way, the only way you can really get someone back is if you do something drastic with distance involved, I would say. So let's say you get really fucking hot all of a sudden and you haven't seen him in months, okay? It's kind of a fresh new slate, fresh new page. When you get into that talk where it's, like you haven't talked to a friend in forever, you're like, oh my God, hey, you run into him, you're like, oh my God, hey, how are you? How have you been? How's so-and-so? How's the baby? So what are you doing now? When it gets to that stage and you have a big transformation, then maybe you can get them back. But if you're thinking you're gonna go out and change who you are over the weekend and get really hot and bothered and shit, and then go back to him and he'd be like, oh wow, no, it might last a little bit, but you're gonna jump right back into the same behaviors because you didn't allow distance and time for the behaviors. That's why I always tell women, pull back, and they hate it, and I sound like a broken record, but you have to pull back. So what is that line? How do you know where a guy stands? Okay, anywhere in the 80s is really, really good. A lot of people think, 80 out of 100 is, 80's really good. 80's probably where he's feeling himself. He's like, damn, this woman's the shit. He starts, reaching out. I'll say slightly in the 70s, he starts reaching out a little more. 80s, he's reaching out a lot. 90s, you both are just in sync, in line. He's open. He wants that relationship. I'll say in the 90s he's in love. Okay, 90s is love. I'll say 80s, a lot of the time he doesn't mind the dates. He doesn't mind coming over. He gets jealous. Well, I wouldn't say jealous if you're talking to other men. That's just insecurities. Because the guy who's feeling 60, who's in the 60 attraction level, and he's using you, he'll get jealous that you're talking to men, just because he wants you all to himself to boost his own ego and pleasures and things like that. Which one of my clients had the last 2 days ago. But for the most part, I would say you could tell when he's not feeling it. I'll say around in the 50s. I'll say 59 and under. Where he's just like blowing, he's just whatever, just not giving a shit anymore. And that doesn't mean like, I had one client also where a guy would say he's coming over, but then he ends up not coming over. I'll say that guy's in the 60s because he's still reaching out to her, and that's fixable. I told her that's fixable. But when the guy's just like whatever, he's just not giving a shit or making the effort at all, and you're always reaching out, and when he does come around, it's mostly sexual. You end up having sex, or he talks about sex, or he tries something, or you guys are always arguing and bitching. It's not going to work out. And I don't mean arguing and bitching so much. It's just there's always tension, it's always stress. It's like, ugh. Or I would say even if you're wondering. I take that back now, because if you're even just wondering if the guy's interested in you, that's not a good sign, okay? You want to be in the 70s or up. 60s are okay. 60s are okay. You can fix 60s. It's hard to fix 60s, but you can. 50s are really hard to fix, but you can fix it. But when you're in the 70s, that's like a first date kind of thing. You're like, okay, that first date went really, really well. Yeah, you know, it's the feeling of the first date, at least. You know, it went really, really well. This is cool. This is awesome. I'm feeling great. So on and so forth. 80s would be a couple, you know, the feeling you get a couple dates down the road where you're like, wow, I'm really liking this guy. I'm really liking this girl. This is just awesome. Things like that. The 90s, you can just tell. 90s, I don't even have to explain. You can tell 90s. 90s and 100 the same thing. Basically, a 95 would be 100. Okay. And I know this. I'm all over the place with this. I'm kind of like, well, you know, what the hell is he talking about? But it's one of those things you got to feel to understand. When you start feeling it, it's just trial and error. Like, you'll know where you stand with the guy based on, you know, your encounters, how he was and how he is now, and vice versa. So that being said, sorry I've been all over the place with this video. You can get a guy back if you want to know how. Again, read my book. It's basically, I told all my clients, it's just raising your value, loading your red flags, which is your clinginess, neediness, insecurities, all those kind of things. Don't be pressuring them on romances and what are we, what's this, what's that. Just let it unfold naturally. Because if you did have the value, the social proof, all the things I say in my book, then he will commit to you. There's no reason for him not to. There's no reason for him not to. Okay. So that being said, love you, ladies. Take care. Peace.